Hello and welcome to NoCB, a grand strategy podcast. I am your host, Liana Hafer, and with me are our fantastic panelists, including Rose.
Hello.
And including Rosebud, as I'm sure you can hear. Unless all that crying is coming from our friend Lambert. It's a pretty good impression.
I've had practice. When my son is having a bit of a whinge and he won't stop, I'll whinge right back at him. Show him how ridiculous he looks. You want to look this ridiculous? That's how you look, kid.
Perfect.
You can't really do that with a 5-month-old. You don't.
Yeah, they don't.
He doesn't even understand his name
yet. Yeah. Well, we do have a fair bit of grand strategy news to go over this week, and we will begin with the next civilization/culture that has been announced for humankind, which is the Mexicans. They're an agrarian society that gets some soldados, which I guess are kind of like the farmer revolutionaries from the Mexican Revolution. And then the hacienda, which is a rural estate focused on agricultural production. Lambert, I think you were mentioning this is the first non-European culture we have for industrial so far.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely good to see, it branching out a little bit. Obviously, not just the Europeans who are doing the whole industry thing or existed during this era. So yeah, it's nice to see some civs from places that aren't Europe.
Yeah.
Also, I have no idea why, but I know the word hacienda. Don't know where I know it from. Had no idea that that's what it was, but I've heard that word before. Like if I had to list all the Spanish words that I know, hacienda would be there.
I mean, I think it can just mean like a big house generally.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of
It just
Mexican
had a specific meaning in Mexico compared to Spain. It's why there's actually quite a few differences between Spanish, and Mexican Spanish, and all the other countries that speak Spanish down in South and Central America.
I mean, when you split, a language group down an ocean, there's going to be some differences that pop in. I mean, we know that ourselves with
you guys
English.
And your weird. Why do you call it pavement on the side of the road?
Because it's paved.
You walk.
It's paved.
The road is paved too.
No, it's not. It's tarmac.
It's paved.
No, it's tarmac.
It's both. It's tarmac. It's made of tarmac, but it's paved.
It's not paved.
Well, and also our sidewalks here are not paved. They're just slabs of concrete. So I don't.
Yeah, they're not paved.
I understand, right? Because, when Americans are, they're on the road, like they need to know very specifically and very clearly where you walk. Where'd you walk? On sidewalk. It's simple terms for simple minds.
Whoa!
And then it just stuck.
You realize you're in a chat with two Americans today, right?
For that one.
Yeah.
You don't have your fellow UK.
Oh, that's true. You're outnumbered.
Back you up today.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
it's all right. I'm a big boy. I can stick up for myself. I did put out a tweet. Was it last week or something? It's like I become genuinely happy when I see that a game uses British English instead of American English. Thinking of Baldur's Gate, who I can't even remember which word it was. I think it was defense actually, or offense, and he used the correct version with the C. But then I saw today that it spells favor without a U, and I'm like, just make up your fucking mind. It's like it doesn't.
I love how Colonel RPG has just said that, Lambert, you're not from the UK, you're Irish.
Hang on. I'm an admin on this channel. Bye, Colonel. Bye, Colonel. Say goodbye, Colonel.
I was gonna say, speaking of the different varieties of Spanish, Johanna Hausman, who I believe she's Venezuelan, has a really good video where she does an imitation of all of the different like Central and South American accents, which is really funny if you want to like hear the stereotypes that Central and South American Spanish speakers have about each other. I thought it was really funny.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of see a lot of the same thing with all the different English-speaking nations.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're giving each other shit about how differences in how we speak English right now. So
Yeah.
it's a worldwide tradition. Yeah.
It is, one town over speaks so differently in the UK that it's the same thing there.
Yeah.
If if we allowed each town to choose its own spelling, as we allow each, country to choose its own spelling, spellings in England would be absolutely fucked. There'd be,
I mean, just look at
dozens
Shakespeare.
of versions of English.
Yeah.
I mean, bloody Geordie would be a language all on its own. It's crazy. No, screw that.
Well, speaking of English, do you know what? There was where was it on? Pardon the typing you hear. That is Rosebud attempting to use the keyboard, which is turned off.
Start 'em early.
Gotta get that APM up while they're young. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So-
Merriam-Webster posted a time travel thing for vocabulary. So what words were added to the dictionary
On
like
the
the
day
year
that
you were
on
born?
the year that you were born. Yeah, I had some fun ones.
Yeah.
Granny panties, hoochie, cybersex, and time suck.
What year were you born?
91.
Your baby.
He's the Lambert, I think, is the baby of the podcast.
Also,
Only by a couple years. I was 89, but yeah.
Father
I was
Larris
88.
also found
Okay.
another one in my list. Ethnic cleansing, which I didn't decide to go with that one as my highlights. But it's in there too.
Oh, sorry. This is actually the first year it was used in print. SIM cards.
How did we even communicate before the advent of the term ulnar collateral ligament reconstruction? I don't.
It boggles the mind. Boggles the mind.
Infinity pools. Apparently, infinity pools did not exist before 1991.
That's just sucky,
Yes,
Scrunchies.
Also, 91, the year that the first person crowd surfed. I'm guessing it was probably. I don't know who that would be.
Wait, this can't be right. Why is queso? We were talking about Mexican and then Spanish and stuff. Why is queso in here for 1989?
It might be the first time it was published in English. Like it's one of those like Spanish words. It's been around forever, but like it's also just been adopted into English. So
Wait,
yeah.
Vietnamese cinnamon.
You know what? It's probably a great version of cinnamon.
Well, you're never too cool to learn something new, as this cat says.
Mm.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
91,
cool
when we
ones,
first
88.
used the word conlang, which is like, Elvish and Klingon
constructed
and stuff.
languages. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I mean,
So
88 was a pretty cool one. We had ebooks, emo, F-bomb,
nice.
JPEG, mosh pits.
I don't know what some of these are. Like Boomerang Child. I don't even know.
Probably an Aussie thing, let's be honest.
Quite possibly.
We go way back. Let's go back to the year my parents were born. Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force.
You know what? It's fine.
Fettuccine Alfredo Club.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting-
Chocoholic, which has always bothered me because the word chocoholic implies that you're addicted to chocohol. Because the hall comes from alcohol. like holic is not a suffix. The IC part is the suffix. So I guess it would be a chocolatic or something, would be someone who's addicted to chocolate. But
You're very much looking too much into this.
Well, You know what I would love to look into right now is this next dev diary for Imperator that goes over a few different things, but notably some changes that are coming to Warfare, including changes to combat width, the addition of gates, which are kind of like natural geographical choke points. Thermopylae comes to mind, obviously, and engineers. Lambert, what did you think of this one?
I was very happy with this dev diary. There was nothing in this that I was like, no, this is bad. Everything here looks great. I would like to see some changes to some things, like the battle UI, especially for the naval one. I am still not a fan of. That hasn't changed really since like the before times. Before we got this lovely new UI. So I'm hoping that is still yet to be changed. Because right now it's basically, the fleet on the bottom, it's some silhouettes of some ships. That's all well and good. And they're fighting the Flying Dutchman because they're all, flying several hundred feet above the sea. And I'm sorry, I can't accept that. It just doesn't look good. What I'd love to see is the UI that we have in the first picture, where you can see your flanks, you can see your primary line, your secondary line, and I would like to see that in the battle UI, and bonus points if they like move up and down as if they're like the little vibrations as if they're fighting each other. Like that would make my day. I'd love that.
Rosebud seems to agree with you here.
Yeah.
Just make the battles look like a Kings and Generals video, and I'm sold, man. That'll do me.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to see where they how common these gate provinces end up being, and if they'll let you do stuff like defend against a much more powerful, larger army.
Well, obviously Thermopylae is gonna be one. Like you can't add these and not have the hot gates. The Cilician gates, which is the ones in the picture there. Although there is the one at the top is brand new. That's not in the current version of the game. The Cilician gates are going to be one. I would assume somewhere in the Alps will probably be gates as well.
I would hope all of the passes through the Alps have at least one, because I do feel like it's a little too easy to just march through the Alps right now.
I hate fighting
you
in the
know how
Alps,
easy it was
honestly.
to march through the Alps? You can just get some elephants and go. It's totally cool.
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop you right there. Hannibal tried to cross the Alps with elephants. You know how many elephants survived that trip?
I think it was like what,
just
3?
have a guess. 1.
3, right?
One elephant survived.
He crossed the Alp with elephant.
No, he crossed the Alps with elephants and 1 lived. Just 1.
Yeah. So he crossed the Alps with elephant, not elephants. But
wait, no, Menace is correcting you, Lambert.
That
they died is a myth.
Really?
We need this documentation.
Sure
all right, we need to bring in.
Yeah, Meneth, if you want to jump into Discord, you can come and talk about it.
Yeah, you can talk about. We're talking about elephants, so nothing. Nothing that Paradox should have.
None of the elephants. What?
They were starved, probably tired and highly stressed, but there's no indication any of the animals died during the crossing, which certainly isn't true for the men and pack animals.
But no one says anything about him using the elephants in any of the battles. Like, why wouldn't he use his 37 elephants in the battles?
Maybe they got lost. I don't know.
They were too weak.
Huh.
They died in a battle right after. I mean, this is news. This is shaking my entire foundation of history. Like, what the?
Yeah.
Which battle did they die in?
Battle of Trivia, apparently.
Trivia.
Huh. Interesting.
I'm stunned. Like, I'm done. Podcast over. I'm over. I'm done. My entire career is over. Jesus. Yeah, I didn't know that at all. I've been made to look a fool.
I mean, it's apparently much easier to bring elephants across than we even thought.
Yeah, from all but one dying to literally none of them. All right, then.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're big. Like, having a higher body mass might make it easier to not freeze to death or something. But the other thing that they've mentioned that they're changing is so forts. There's going to be like a soft cap for fort level within each province, I believe.
Yeah.
Which will prevent my strategy for taking over Ptolemaic Egypt as Kush, which was just to blanket the only passes from lower to upper Egypt with like a fort every 3 provinces. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that anymore.
No, probably
like I literally
not.
just bled Ptolemy's army out because I knew that he would never make it. Like, he'd never make it to my capital, which was a lot of fun. But this is probably a little bit more realistic.
I mean, the cap is just money, so
yeah.
On one hand, yeah, you don't want to spend more money than you have to on forts, but on the other hand, it's just money. Like, how much more is it actually going to cost? If it's worth putting there, like, you might need it.
We do have a question from Kazi Guy. Did they ever confirm that forts weren't taking up building slots anymore?
I mean, you can see that it's on that, province of Philistia in Ascalon. You can see it's there with a building. I really hope that it doesn't take up a building slot. I would love to see forts not be a thing, and I'd rather see it be city walls. I don't really like the idea of forts. City walls makes more sense to me. I don't know. But as Agamede is also pointing out there, they've changed the unit sizes. Now, instead of 1,000 men being the normal unit size, it's actually 500, which is
I didn't even notice that.
Lot closer to historical reality, which is around 480 men to a cohort for Romans.
And it has always just driven me nuts that I'm marching around Germania with like 9,000 troops. Like,
not a single man more or less, exactly to the dot.
Yeah, because CK3 feels so much more realistic in that regard, because like your entire army might be like 350 men, which seems more reasonable. And then
some odd levy size too.
Well,
right.
At the same time, one of the battles from the Punic War, the second Punic War with Hannibal, was the Battle of Cannae, and Carthage had about 50,000 men, and Rome had like 87,000 men. They didn't end the battle with 87,000 men and got fucking crushed, but the armies could get colossally huge. It just wasn't normal.
Yeah, I mean, this was an era of pitched battles, so there was more incentive to just have a really freaking huge army.
Speaking of the era of pitched battles as well, they've changed the occupation setup. So basically, before you had to siege the forts in a province, which would then siege every adjacent territory to them. But now, if you've sieged every fort in a province, which, the soft cap is generally going to be around 1 per province, then you siege the entire thing. It just automatically sieges the whole thing for you, which is a phenomenal change and means you don't have to do a bunch of crappy carpet sieging anymore, especially against the bloody Antigonids. I hate fighting the Antigonids.
Yes.
You just need to take either every fort in the province or the provincial capital if it has no forts, and the entire province is done. It's glorious.
The map, like Imperator's map has so many territories on it that it, carpet sieging was just a nightmare. So I'm really glad that they're doing away with that.
Encourages bigger battles as well. You don't need to split your army up as much because, why bother? You don't need to siege as much.
Yeah. We're also getting
sieges will be faster. Yeah, with the engineers.
Yeah, so engineers, which not only can help us knock down walls, but they also, if you have enough of them, you can ignore river crossing penalties, and they'll make road building faster. So,
but apparently very, very expensive. Although how expensive, we've yet to see. They should be the most expensive and the most upkeep, I would say, because they are the most intelligent of the people that you're hiring. Like, they're less about brute strength. You don't want to fight with them, but they'll, make shit easier for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like that they're adding more of these kind of auxiliary units like baggage trains and engineers.
Yeah.
It's something other PDS games haven't really done, which is cool.
Other than Victoria. Let's be honest.
True.
Vicky had engineers.
Yeah.
Which were absolutely necessary as well.
They seem to be taking Imperator and making it more Vicky style, I guess, compared to the other games. It was originally very EU style.
It is the most closest one to Vicky. I mean, that's why there's a Vicky mod in development.
It seems like this. So this is all stuff that I like a lot. It is, I think, playing to Imperator's strengths again, more than its weaknesses. I think Imperator was already a very good war game. I'm happy to see it become an even better war game. It doesn't necessarily address what I see as the most pressing issues with what needs the most work. I would have said military was already in a pretty good place, but obviously these are very cool changes and I'm looking forward to trying them out. So.
Probably the biggest thing that we haven't talked about is the changes to trade.
Right. Yeah, there was a bit about trade.
The amazing change to trade is that you can say, oh, hey, governor, I really can't be bothered sorting out all the trade in your area. You do it. You do it for me. That's such a...
This is literally what I hired you for, so I don't have to think about all of my provinces. Yeah, so...
Why do I need to have a governor here if I have to do everything myself anyway?
Yeah.
So, now you can delegate, trade to the governor of the province. It's done on a provincial level as well. So, not you have a governor who controls an entire region made up of a bunch of provinces, but you can turn it on and off at the provincial level, which is, it's really, really handy. And I'm so glad that that's like a thing now, or will be a thing.
They also confirmed that the teaser we got at the end of last week is the new Atlas map mode, which is just purely kind of a visual thing. It doesn't actually
it's nice though.
Add any new mechanics. Yeah, I like it.
I'll take some screenshots with it for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, Casey Guy is saying, did they ever explain what but he'll expect control over everything that's his means? I don't believe they did. There's no developer comments other than the dev diary itself. So I've no idea what is meant by that. I'd very much like to know though. Trin or Heo, anyone wants to Snow Crystal? Come on, tell me. What does he mean? What does he mean? Tell me.
Rosebud's trying to answer you, but I don't think he speaks our language yet.
No. Yeah, Rosebud is technically breaking embargo right now, but luckily nobody can understand him. So, Well, over in the land of EU4, we finally got Grugi's Hedgehog dev diary, which is talking about new mechanics coming to Sikhism and Zoroastrianism, which are two religions that I don't know how often people play with them, because like Sikhism spawns by event partway through the game in India.
Yeah.
And Zoroastrianism, I'm pretty sure, is more or less dead.
Unless you're doing a very specific kind of run. Like, I'm going to recreate Persia with, the Ardabil, I think it is. Then you just don't do it.
Like, is there even a way to convert to Zoroastrianism that doesn't involve having rebels overthrow the government? Or
I don't believe any country starts as Zoroastrian, but I might be wrong.
I know there are Zoroastrian provinces. I'm just wondering if any country gets like an event or a decision to do it.
Not that I know of.
Yeah. These are cool mechanics. I don't think they're going to get seen a lot. But it looks like Sikhs are getting gurus, where each guru has a few different bonuses you can pick from. You can switch between them while the guru is alive. Then after they die, you keep whichever one of their bonuses was active when they died. And then you get a new guru with a new set of bonuses. So that's kind of a cool and different way to customize your religion that we haven't seen before.
I like it, but I don't know if it's going to be better than Hinduism, because Hindu is like, it might not be the pound for pound strongest religion, Orthodox, in the game, but it, in my opinion, is the most fun religion to play as, unless you do custom nation as Norse. Because I love the idea of, every one of your rulers having a patron deity, and you need to choose a new one every time you get a new ruler. I love that. I think that's really fun and flavorful. So I really like playing as a Hindu. Is Sikh gonna be good enough to draw me away from being Hindu? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they're very good. They're very strong militarily just because of their baseline bonuses.
Yeah.
Especially because I think you can keep the Rajput estate, so you can kind of double up on military strengths. But then, Zoroastrianism, we're getting kind of a cleaner interface for something that already existed, which was the controlling the holy sites. And then you can also pick up different rituals, which include minus yearly corruption, plus goods produced, plus missionary strength, plus 10 governing capacity. I'm not sure how useful that actually is.
Yeah, 10 is worthless.
Yeah, 10 is like, if you're at the point where you're at your governing capacity cap, 10% is not really going to do much for you.
I mean, 10% might be nice, but just a flat 10 is kind of trash.
Oh, it is 10. It says 10%.
Oh, is it 10%? Okay.
Yeah. Minus 5 construction cost. Yeah, seem fairly kind of, these bonuses seem kind of underwhelming, but I guess the true strength of Zoroastrianism is if you do reclaim all the holy sites, you get the Sao Shayat stuff. So
kind of the same thing you can do in CK.
More or less, yeah.
I don't know if this Zoroastrian thing, it's basically what's a religion in the game that's fun but very few people use? Oh, Coptic. Let's use the same mechanics there. I mean, it's basically the Coptic mechanics.
Yeah, and I mean, like, since we got a big update to the North American map, like, rather than Sikh and Zoroastrian, I would have liked them to maybe redo totemism. Like, that seems like that might have been a little bit more synergistic.
Made more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have to say that is a glorious icon they have here for rituals right now.
Oh yeah, I'm sure if we go to Groovy's Discord right now, it's going to be an emote. Straight up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really need to like release like a
developer
content pack for coder art. Yeah, where you can just play the whole game with coder art. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I would play with that on every once in a while, just for a laugh.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, hang on, I gotta let the dog in real quick.
Speaking of animals, we also have a bunch of pictures of Groogy's Lord Cyrus hedgehog. Absolutely glorious little boy.
He is indeed glorious.
Groogy does not have that as an emote in his Discord.
Yet.
He is missing. He doesn't even have the little sad liberty as an emote in his Discord.
Wow. He's slacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, come on. Cyrus isn't slacking. I mean, he is napping in one of these pictures, but that's because he's had a hard week being the King of Kings and needs to, he deserves his rest.
Everyone deserves a nap. I wish I'd had a nap today.
Yeah. Don't we all? The Hearts of Iron 4
you can never
dev
take a
team-
nap. You can never take a nap during a world war because it's just too noisy.
Yes.
Can we just point out that it's the 20th anniversary of EU first, though?
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
And
It's kind of important.
EU2 is free on
Of
GOG right
EU1?
now.
Yeah, EU1 is the 20th anniversary of it, so it's like,
Oh, wow.
it's crazy the legacy that EU4 has, like all that behind it, and soon we'll hopefully get EU5. I don't know. I'm just gonna hope.
I mean, if they're spending time on like Zoroastrian mechanics, like how much more do they have to do on EU4 at this point? Yeah.
They did a pretty decent stream going over a bunch of stories from, the earlier titles. There's one that I just want to bring up because it's hilarious. When you scrolled through the map in, I think, EU2, they were showing off. When you moved the map, say you wanted to go and look at America and you were in Europe, instead of moving the camera, it was in EU3, sorry. Instead of moving the camera, what it would do is move all of the provinces over. So
yeah, Rosebud saying like, exactly how ridiculous that is.
It's crazy. It's like it reminded me of that really old joke when Chuck Norris does push-ups. He doesn't push himself up; he pushes the world down. It's basically that. That is EU3. That's how it worked.
Wow.
That's mental.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Yeah. Hey. I mean, they got it working, so there's something to be said for that.
And it had sliders and pops, which is better than U4. Sliders and pops, bring it back. I love them.
I guess I would be okay with sliders if they have like stopping points on them. I don't like the fine control of just having.
Yeah, that's fair.
High, I like how Imperator does it, where you can be like high, medium, or low funding for stuff like that. That I like a lot better than sliders. But yeah, so Hearts of Iron 4 they're going to be taking a nap actually after this week to work on the Barbarossa update. But we got a dev diary about player telemetry for Battle for the Bosphorus so far. After all these years, Germany is still the most played country, but they're down below 20% of new games started, which is, I think, the lowest they've ever been. Turkey is the most popular new nation, followed by Greece and then Bulgaria. Soviet Union is still very popular. Everybody's trying to restore the Ottoman Empire. I don't think that surprises me at all.
Nope. Me neither.
Yeah. But only 11% of people are using camelry. Come on. That's bring in the camels. What are you doing? You have access to camels and you're not using them?
Speaking of camels, and this is kind of off topic of Hoi 4, but
yeah.
CK3 was playing a lovely Succession game on Twitch where we were passing the save file back and forth, and we were building a beautiful camel land where we depended on all the camels. It was glorious. But then we had a hot fix, or we had 1.1 patch, I believe, actually. And it made it so that all DLC is required to run a save, even cosmetic DLC.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
And one of the people in our Succession game, they had the pre-order because they bought the game themselves. They weren't given a key or anything, like myself and someone else in the game. So our save file, I can no longer open it. Neither can Prussian Prince.
Really? They didn't give us the pre-order stuff with the press key?
No,
they
and
very rarely do.
I brought it up with my contact, and he sent me a key for the Royalty Edition to see, and that unlocked the Absid cosmetic patch or cosmetic DLC. But the HRE one is apparently only pre-order and could not find another way to do it. I'm not sure.
Huh.
I can edit the save. Meneth, how about I send you the save and you can edit it?
If it's anything like the Imperator saves, it's literally like right at the top, like maybe 5 lines down. It'll have something like DLC owned, and then it'll have the list of them. You just delete the line where it's where it is.
I will take a look at that. And no, it's not Iron Man. Unlike Lambert, on my group, we were smart enough to not put a Succession game in Iron Man.
Right. You say that, but 4 generations down, having passed it to Zaldor and Mordaith twice each, I then got the save back and immediately got an achievement from it. So, I mean, who's laughing now?
Well, you guys all had. Well, I know Zaldor. I don't think pre-ordered it, and I'm pretty sure you and Mordaith had early copies.
Yeah.
So, also just missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember for Imperator as well. The pre-order bonus you got was basically the Epirus pack before that became a separate thing in itself, and I had to ask for that maybe 9 months after the game had come out. And that was nice if we got the pre-order stuff too, just so we've got the complete thing.
Or at least make it available.
It's available to purchase separately. I would happily go out and spend what would be the $2-3 on the cosmetic DLC.
There was for Hearts of Iron, there was a pre-order only music pack. I don't know if that became available to purchase, but I think if it didn't, then people who pre-ordered Hearts of Iron have got music that no one else has, including content creators.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's hard to complain about, like, oh, you're giving us free video games, but we don't get the HRE clothes. But it's like there's like no way we could have, other than paying full price for a game that we already have. Like, I'll pay you $5 for it, but
I'd happily buy it. Like all of the things from what's called the Monarch's Journey.
Monarch's Journey.
It's like when the Monarch's Journey thing was going on. We already knew full well what CK3 was. We'd had a bunch of dev diaries all about it. We were, smack bang in the middle of the paradox, where the stuff that's coming, we know about it, we are excited about it. Playing the old thing kind of doesn't seem very appealing. But,
Well, you're talking about old things. Here's a lovely clip. What was it? EU3 that you were talking about?
Oh, you found the clip, did you?
I found the clip.
Nice. It's so.
Here you go, folks.
Wow. Yeah, that's insane. So the other thing we learned from the Hoi 4 diary is 43% of Greek players revived the Byzantine Empire. I'm assuming that the other 57% tried but failed.
Well, naturally, I mean, you don't play Greece and not revive the Roman Empire.
I don't know. Have either of you played any Battle for the Bosphorus yet?
No, I don't know. It feels very, very awkward for me to ask for a Hearts of Iron DLC because I'm not a Hearts of Iron streamer or YouTuber. It would be entirely so that I could try it out, then decide that Hearts of Iron still isn't my thing, and then not. I don't want to be that guy.
I loaded it up for a little bit to check out some of the focus trees. It's like there aren't a lot of big mechanical changes this time around. It seems like it's mostly just content. It's almost like a flavor pack, what they would call a flavor pack for EU4 or Stellaris. I guess Hearts of Iron doesn't really distinguish between the two. I'm really interested to try out some of the Turkish stuff just because their faction system seems really interesting. So I'll probably try to find some time for that this week.
I'll just watch our favorite Viking stream it at some point.
Yeah.
I pretty much only did Hoi 4 on stream, and since I haven't been able to stream much,
I just haven't played vanilla in a long time. Like, I think like most Hearts of Iron players, I mostly play the total conversion mods. So.
I would love to see the numbers for how many people play Kaiserreich.
I know I think it was ParadoxCon 2018, they said 60% of new games were using a total conversion mod or something like that.
That's insane numbers.
Yeah. I mean, that was like right when Kaiserreich was kind of blowing up initially. And yeah, Old World Blues, really good. I still want to check out the New Order. Everyone on I talked to about Hearts of Iron is saying I need to try out the New Order. Yeah. Some good mods. Some good mods out there. So the one other dev diary we got was about the art for the Stellaris Necroids pack, which is that coming out next week? Have they said yet?
It has to be soon. Like, if they haven't said, I would find it very funny if it was released on Halloween.
Be good timing for it.
29th of October is what Steam says.
Okay, so two days before Halloween.
When is Halloween? I don't know when Halloween is.
It's the 31st.
Okay.
It's always the last day of October.
Yeah. I don't know that.
You don't have Halloween?
Wow.
We do, but it's a very American holiday. We've only vaguely took
but it like came
it's
from.
well, actually,
you probably know why.
Know off by heart when it is.
I mean, it was celebrated in Ireland. That's probably why you don't know. I mean, they carve turnips.
When I'll notice that it's Halloween, when some kid comes up to my door and starts talking at me in a language I don't understand, asking for sweets.
Well, here in the States, that only happens if you have your porch light on. And our porch light on this rental is broken. So,
that's not one thing that this dev diary showed that I didn't actually know is that I did kind of know that the Stellaris portraits were like separate layers that were animated independently, but apparently they're actually like projected onto a 3D model like the 2D art is, which can be, manipulated, in a 3D animation program, which I thought was pretty interesting.
I love how we're talking art and we don't have Father Loris here today.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah.
Rosebud's trying to take his place, but we just can't understand him.
It would be what it makes me think of is if you guys have ever seen how a text-to-speech device for the Warhammer 40k sort of fan animation by Brother Alphaboozer. Like I can imagine that's kind of how he animates the people in his videos, where it's like every little piece of the characters is on a different layer and they move around independently and stuff. It's like I would love to see a Stellaris version of that. It'd just be really fun.
Oh yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, a lot of these portraits almost look like fungoids too to me. Was something that I noticed. They do kind of have a lot of them have a fungal theme.
He's got like insects mandibles or something.
Yeah, there's one that looks kind of like there's that one that's like a slug in a jar, which is kind of sort of molluscoid looking. I guess that's kind of a cool the idea that they're getting plugged into like a sentinel from the Matrix or something. Like it's almost like a cybernetic evolution kind of thing.
Apparently, Agamede says they showed all the portraits off on the stream today.
All of them?
Did they?
Okay.
Do we have a clip of that somewhere?
If
Does somebody in chat have
has
a clip of it?
or gives me a timestamp, I will pop it up on the stream.
Yeah, because I haven't actually seen most of the finished ones yet.
And some of us can only talk about things that are publicly available.
Yeah, and until I see for sure that all of them were on the stream, I ain't saying shit.
I mean, I would go looking for the clip myself, but I'm also balancing Rosebud here,
and podcasting.
Yes, because I am hosting the stream at the moment as well, and you know what? He was quiet and peaceful the whole time Leanna and I were talking before getting the stream set up, and then as soon as we went live, nope, he had to join in.
I just got the clip, or I got the timestamp.
Great.
Funnily enough, Alfred Strike Facebook, probably not the best place to post that, but Discord, much better. Just saying.
Excellent.
But thank you, mate. That's appreciated.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute it. We don't need to see it. Or we don't need to hear it. We just need to see it. Excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That isn't actually
Maybe.
all of the
Good.
portraits. Of course, they have already confirmed that there
Here
is
they are.
a what's called mechanical race. They've got
These
Yeah.
first guys look very
Race.
arrogant and
The
unhappy.
first two, the first two I really like the one from the trailer, and then the like kind of dark astronaut looking one. I like the one that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over. That is like kind of a shroud looking thing.
He reminds me like Alien, kind of.
Yeah.
The second to last one is very similar to one that already exists.
Yeah. The last
Oh
two
yeah, one of
look
the plant
familiar.
ones.
Yeah.
I will say, of all of them, definitely the first one is head, shoulders, all knees above all of the others. It is the best one by far for me.
I don't know. That one with like the sluggy thing in the jar is rather cool. We haven't had an alien like that before.
Yeah, like that one makes me wonder about like if you do synthetic ascension as that species, like aren't they already kind of a cyborg?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no,
Yeah.
they're. Well, I guess they are kind of cyborgy. Reminds me of the goldfish guy from. Oh, great! I just lost the show name. The Netflix show, with the superheroes, except they're not superheroes.
Umbrella Academy?
Umbrella Academy, thank you. Yes. There's a fish guy in the second season of Umbrella Academy.
I've never watched it. I just saw an advert for it. I didn't
You
even watch
are
the advert.
missing out
It was just there in my head.
Good show. This guy looks like a praying mantis.
I don't like him at all.
Yeah, actually, he looks like one of the other portraits too. Isn't there like a molluscoid that has like that same kind of like hammerhead
Yeah, I think so.
shape? Like some of these look like they might have been based on existing.
Which would kind of
Portraits.
make sense considering what we've heard about.
Yeah, like if they're trying to do like the undead. Okay, that guy's cool.
That's like
That guy is
the
cool.
death cult one. It's like this isn't a
ridiculous,
necroid.
but-
This is the guy that like reveres the necroids kind of thing.
He looks ridiculous, but I kind of like it. Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I'll have to. This is a little bit. The resolution's a little bit off on my end, but I'll have to check these out when we all get access to the DLC.
Let's
So
see if I can.
This is
I
the best
think-
part for those who only listen to the podcast.
Oh,
yeah.
yes. I mean, you can go in
Yeah.
and. What was the timestamp, Lambert? If you can read it and tell him.
It is no hours, 11 minutes, 38 seconds.
Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So that's I think that's the last
Oh.
Dev Diary we're gonna get.
If you go to 25 minutes and 2 seconds, that is where you see the mechanical.
Oh, they did
25
show the
minutes
mechanical.
and 2 seconds.
I'll also send the link there. There you go.
Oh. Aha. Oh, they look like spider guys.
I will say,
Okay.
not a fan. Not a fan of that one.
They look like they're gonna go creeping up your walls.
Those would be cool as a model for like a specific pop type that I have designed to do a specific thing.
Yeah.
Like when I play mechanical races, I like to kind of mix and match the portraits for like different classes of
Yeah.
drones.
Yeah, I love that.
This guy has
So
a
that would be
terrific
cool
smile,
for like
though.
a hunter killer drone.
Does this guy have a
think
terrific
of my
smile?
favorite mechanical race is the Lithoids one. That is just like peak robot.
The lithoid is cool. Yeah, the lithoid robot.
Yeah, but
Um,
I think it kind of definitely puts to bed all of the you're just making Necrons, because literally none of these look anything like Necrons or Necron inspired. Like none of them.
Yeah.
Which I'm fine with, even though I love the Necrons. I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, totally. Casey guy says that I'm doing it right by using different machine portraits for different robot types. So
It's also a ton of micro.
it is, but if micro for the sake of RP is micro that I will sign up for.
Fair.
True.
Well, I think that is about all of the news that we have, other than the fact that we're getting the patch notes for Stellaris next week, which are apparently 7 pages long. So that'll be fun.
Ooh, wow!
I don't
they're
think it's
trying to copy CK3, huh?
I don't think that this is the longest. I think that I think Stellaris specifically has had patch notes that are even longer than this, but yeah, I that's good. That tells me that we're getting a lot of changes and bug fixes, and maybe we'll hear something about endgame performance.
Hopefully.
Crossing my fingers for that. If it's 7 pages of patch notes, obviously it's a lot more than just the cosmetic stuff for Necroids. So
how many Groogies is
looking
that?
forward to it. I think it's like one. I think it was about they showed I don't remember who the developer was, but they showed it's about the height of one developer. So yeah. I don't remember where that post was where they showed that.
Oh,
I tried
Alfred
to
says
find the
he
original
believes the
one a long
patch
time ago,
notes
couldn't
are
find
out
it.
tomorrow.
Yeah, the
About
patch notes should be out tomorrow, yeah.
1.1 Groogies.
The Stellaris Dev Diaries usually go up the day after we record the podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have for this week. Rose, what have you been up to and where can people find your stuff?
Primarily YouTube right now. Some CK3. There will be some Stellaris coming soon. Twitch is kind of off the table, it looks like, mostly until December when we move, because right now it's not working too well with Rosebud nap schedule. But my plan is to stream when he naps. It's just not working at the moment.
Yeah.
I
this
started
tiny
this whole
apartment.
YouTube streamy thing when my son was around about how old Rosebud is now. And mostly because he was asleep at night and we were brand new parents, didn't want to leave him alone. So I stayed up all night and I needed something to do. So I started recording. That's how this whole thing started for me. Oh.
Yeah, no. We can't really sleep train him at the moment too well because we're still sharing a room with him, because this apartment has technically 2 bedrooms, but the other one is a closet and my desk is in it. And there's nowhere to move my desk to. So
yeah, I don't recommend our strategy, by the way. Definitely don't recommend it.
No. It wouldn't work for us.
Lambert, what have you been up to, and where can people find your stuff?
Over on YouTube, I've got quite a lot of CK3. I will also have some Stellaris up this weekend. As well, I've been posting some random streams that I've done recently. Over on Twitch, I've just finished the Baldur's Gate 3 early access, or I got to the end of it. I wouldn't say I finished it. There's a lot of stuff that I've obviously missed out on. And I've also started streaming another RPG inspired by D&D called Solasta, Crown of the Magister, which is way more D&D-like than Baldur's Gate is, but not. It's obviously not as pretty. It's really, really good. I also played some Kingdoms and Castles over there. So basically my stream schedule there is like when my son is at daycare, which means that all of America is asleep and most of Europe is as well. So it's not the best or most optimal stream time, but you got to do it when you got to do it.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's basically
when you got
compete
kids.
with a lot of other streams.
Yeah, but yeah, if you want some RPG stuff or just random game stuff, then links in chat.
RPGs are cool.
They are.
Paradox is, I think, hiring a brand manager for RPGs right now. So
interesting.
Maybe maybe we'll be seeing some more RPGs from them in the future. But yeah,
Imagine a Crusader
Loresworn-
Kings RPG where you're playing as like an unlanded knight and you're trying to become emperor.
Just make that part of Crusader Kings.
Yeah.
Well, no, but do a sort of Bannerlord style. I mean, you can run around and go inside. And it wouldn't really work with the map base of CK3.
That's my dream for what Crusader Kings will be someday. Is just make Bannerlord in Crusader Kings, and then I'll never play another game again for the rest of my life. Loresworn Order is my channel, mostly doing Twitch stuff right now also. And we're going to be streaming tonight. If you're watching this live, it's about 2 hours from right now. It'll be 4:30 p.m. Mountain Time. We're going to be starting Amnesia Rebirth, getting back into the horror game groove for Spooktober. My review of it is
Darkest Descent.
Yeah.
I think I hyperventilated and had a panic attack on stream 2 years ago.
It's Rebirth is even worse, so you may want to avoid it.
Darkest Dungeon got confirmed to have number 2. That's spooky.
Yes,
That's some spooky news.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon's great.
The best part about the game, though, is clearly the voice actor for the narrator. Like,
True.
The game could be
narrator's amazing.
absolute trash, and I would still watch it just for him. He's amazing.
What's really funny is when you name your heroes after your subscribers in chat or your and then they die. And they let you down, they betray you, they have breakdowns at the worst time.
Yeah, you gotta name them after subscribers in any sort of like
Anytime you can. I was actually really disappointed that I couldn't rename my people in Kingdoms and Castles, because I had a guy who just randomly seen him and he was carrying like 12 pieces of wood, and I was like, that guy is absolutely amazing. His name was Sam Johnson. I wanted to rename him after a subscriber, but I mean I couldn't, so I was quite sad about that.
Oh man. Yeah, you can also read my review of Amnesia Rebirth up on PC Gamer right now. Don't think there's anything else super crazy, new and weird going on. But you can, as always, find the podcast. We are NoCB Cast on Twitter, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Twitch. There was a production delay last week that may have been caused by our resident Welshman, but also myself. I'll be getting last week's episode up on all of the SoundCloud and stuff later.
And then it will be on
hopefully.
YouTube about 6 to 24 hours after that.
Yeah, so you'll get a double dose of the podcast in your feed this week if you're an audio only listener. And YouTube, we are on YouTube now.
Yes, I just Leanna has to get me the save file of the audio so I can turn it into an actual video for YouTube. And then I upload it. That's why it takes anywhere from 6 to 24 hours, depending on when I get the clip.
Yeah, I think they're all up there up to like episode 42 now. So yeah.
They're up to date, except for the ones that are not up anywhere else yet.
Yeah, exactly.
They're up on Twitch.
That's true. They are up on Twitch. Every single one since like March has been saved here on Twitch as a highlight.
I think
So if you want
was
to,
the last one we missed.
We might have missed one at some point, but
the guys and Leanna missed one while I was off on maternity, but all the rest are up here.
Look,
I'm using the royal we.
I blame Loris isn't here. I'll blame him.
Yeah, just blame whoever's not here. That's easier.
Loris,
the
the one person who has never actually hosted the stream because he doesn't know how.
Look, he's not here. He's to blame. These are the rules.
Though, if you're watching this on YouTube and you notice we have no banner across the top of our YouTube page, you can blame Loris for that one.
But if you're watching this on YouTube and you do notice a banner, then he's finally took his thumb out.
Anyway, we'll see you guys back here same time next week, and thanks for tuning in.
Bye-bye.